Hello guys. Today we're going to talk about the episode Captain Cold. This is a good one. It aired on April 5th, 1991. It's about 48 minutes long. It has 8.3 out of 10 on IMDb with about 90 some user people. Um, the episode guest stars Michael Champion as the villain, and he was the the second string bad guy in Total Recall, the one with the glasses. He was in Beverly Hills Cop as well as Casey. I don't remember that one. And the episode was directed by Gilbert M. Chilton, who also directed episodes of Magnum PI and episodes of Quantum Leap. Um, and yeah, so this episode is really cool because Captain Cold is another. I was curious on how they were going to do Captain Cold because the only Captain Cold performance I was familiar with was the one from the CW's Flash. So to see this version, it was a good comparison. I have to say I love this version. He is everything you would hope Captain Cold would be and more. And he's a great enemy against the Flash. There was a moment in the climax fight where they just kind of exchanged some side banter for a little bit, and it felt so natural, and it felt like there was a genuine rivalry between the two. And I really, really enjoyed him in this episode, and I really enjoyed Flash going against him too. It was a well done episode. Like the opening scene of him, his entrance is just it's quick, but immediately you're like, that's him. That's Captain Cold. Oh man. And everything that episode's done like there's no criticisms of any kind for this one either. I don't think there's really a whole lot of campy moments. I mean, sure, there's a few puns there and there, but it feels natural. It doesn't feel forced. It really feels like this is a great villain. They did a great job of capturing the villain rivalry between Captain Cold and the Flash in this one. I mean, you see, this is when they stepped it up. This is when they brought the big villains, and these villains, in a lot of ways, have great chemistry with the Flash in terms of villainess, especially this guy, Captain Cold. And I really enjoyed the performance here by him, and I really enjoyed this episode. I wish there was more, and I wished, God, it just would have been cool to see a bit more of this one. Um, in all honesty, this could have been its own like I could have seen. I'm surprised there hasn't been a two-parter in this series, considering how big and epic stories they take on. But yeah, this is a very good one. I recommend see it. This is like I said earlier in the series, they managed to do a little bit of everything in the series relating to the Flash, including showing as many of his signature villains as possible, and he has quite a few. Um, I will say this: there is an absence. There's kind of an absence, but not really, of one villain that we'll get to in the next episode. But I can't think of really any big main villains that they don't have him face off against in the series. Um, well, there's no Gorilla Grodd. He is referenced in an episode as a side thing. The name is used as something else, but no, and they didn't have the tech back then for something like Gorilla Grodd. That's really the only one, and kind of someone other one. There's Flash has a lot of good villains, but they do a lot of the big ones here, which I like. I like because back in the day, comic book shows and movies they weren't always comic. They weren't usually comic book friendly. They're like, okay, let's take the bare minimum and change everything else. That's what they did because they thought that they kind of had this self-righteous attitude, like, like, we'll take what little there is and we'll make it better in our own way that we think would appeal to the mass audience, and it didn't usually. It usually did pretty bad. Now, granted, some comic book movies they try to do everything right and they still did bad. But back then, but either way, comic movies and TV shows they weren't always treated. They weren't treated with a lot of respect with the source material. Not very often, and if there was some, it was as little as possible. And this show does a great job paying respect. So it's refreshing to see something back then doing something like this. Um, yeah, it's hard to say. It's a great episode. Check it out. Don't skip it. There's nothing really bad. It's a very great episode. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the videos, and have a good day.